Hello everyone, in this video we're going to accrue bonds interest at year end. If the bonds is not paying interest on December 31st, there is a different date, so we have to accrue interest up to December 31st that year. So for example, like this one, these bonds was issued on October 1st, so there is October, November, December, 3 months that we have to accrue because the next interest payment is not going to be until January, February, March, the end of March or the beginning of June. Okay, but we have to recognize interest expense for year one up to from October 1st until December 31st. Okay, so the principal of the bonds is 200,000. The coupon is 10%. The market interest yield, I believe it was 12%. Okay, so for semi-annual, we divide that by 2, we get 5% coupon, and market rate, if we divide by 2, is 6% market rate. Because the coupon is less than the effective market rate, so the bonds are going to be issued at discount. The price is provided, 185 to 79.87. So the discount is the difference between the face value and the issuing price, 14,720.13, and the interest payment based on the coupon is 5% times 200,000 or $10,000. Now there are two ways to amortize the discount. Let's do that first. The first one is using the effective interest, and we're going to use 6% because that's what the market rate is. Okay, 6% to calculate the interest expense, and the carrying value is going to be the discounted price, the issuing price. Okay, so for the first 6 months, we're going to multiply 6% effective interest rate times the carrying value. So 11,116.79. Okay, and then the interest payment is going to be $10,000. So the difference is the amortization of discount. And the discount amortization will bring the carrying value of the bonds up back to the face value. So we add that like that. So it goes up to 186,396.66 after the first 6 months. Then we can do that for the rest. 6% times, I can just type it, 6% times the carrying value. The interest payment will always be $10,000 because that's our promise with the coupon rate, and discount amortization is the difference between effective interest and the interest payment. And you remember, with bonds issued at discount, the interest expense is higher than the interest payment. And then we add that. Okay, so we can keep doing that and get back our bonds to $200,000, and we can calculate the total interest payment, 114,720.21 for 5 years, or 10 semi-annual payments. Okay, so now let's take a look at how the journal entry is done. So the company received cash at the selling price. The bonds payable or the liability that it recognizes is the face value. And the difference would be the discount on bonds payable, which is 14,720.13. That's how we how we prepare the journal entry at the time of issuance. Okay, that's October 1st. 3 months later, December 31st, we are not paying any interest, but we have to accrue the interest expense for 3 months, October, November, December. Okay, so we're going to recognize interest expense. Okay, and we are going to not pay interest payable, showing that we will pay it later. Okay, and then we have to amortize the discount. So discount on bonds payable. Okay, but our schedule here is for 6 months. Our journal entry here is for 3 months. Okay, so we have to adjust the amount. So the interest payable would be half of the 10,000. Okay, the amortization of the discount would be half of this schedule. And the interest expense will be half of the schedule. Because remember, the schedule here is for 6 months, and the journal entry that we do here is for 3 months. Okay, so we divide that by 2. Now, when we get to March 31st, and we are paying the first interest payment, so we have to recognize interest expense for the other 3 months, January, February, March. So this is for October, November, December. This is for January, February, and March. Okay, and then we are paying off the interest payable. $5,000, and then we amortize the discount on bonds payable. Again, this is for January, February, and March. The amount happens to be the same, 3 months. And then we pay cash. And the cash that we paid is always based on the coupon rate here, $10,000. Okay, so that's the journal entry to accrue the bonds interest, journal entry for the first interest payment of those bonds. Okay, now this is how we do it if we don't use reversing entries. Some company reverse the entry, so they just reverse this, reverse this, the adjustment on December 31st. So when they get to March 31st, they will just do a regular entry. So let's take a look. It has nothing to do with the issuance, so the issuance would still be the same. Okay, exactly the same. The journal entry at the end is the same. This is the bonds amortization. Sorry, the discount amortization, still the same. And then interest payable. Did I use the same account there? Yep, interest payable, correct, is the same. So up to this point, everything is the same. Now, when the company gets to the beginning of the year, January 1st, we can do it like this, like what we did here, or the company can use a reversing entry, see, to reverse the adjusting entry. Basically, we just reverse this. So discount on bonds payable, it was on credit, so now we put it on debit. And then interest payable, so they will cancel out. And then interest expense. Okay. What this adjusting entry does is it cancels the payable, it cancels the amortization of discount. So on March 31st, we can prepare a regular journal entry. Interest expense for the full 6 months. Okay, interest expense, the full 6 months. This one here. Just like regular payment, but you see they're netting off. We recognize interest expense 11,116, but our reversing entry has an interest expense on credit 5,558.40. So if you take the difference there, basically you are recognizing interest expense just for the 3 months. Okay, discount on bonds payable, which is for the 6 months. But again, this 55840 nets off the 1116.79. Okay. And then, of course, payment of cash for $10,000. So either one is right. We'll get the same amount of interest expense for January, February, and March, the same amount of amortization, either using this or using that. Okay, the second method is using straight line. Straight line is more straightforward because we just divide the discount by the period. So we have the discount is 14,720.13. So we just divide that. Oops, the next one. We just divide that by 10 periods. And it will always be the same because it's a straight line. Okay. Now the interest payment is always $10,000. Okay, so the straight line interest expense will be the 10,000 plus the discount amortization. 10,000 plus 1472.01. Okay, and the amortization will bring back the fair value of the bonds to its face value. Okay, so it goes back to 200,000, and we can calculate the interest. Okay, you see, well, slightly different because of the rounding, but basically the amount of interest is the same using straight line or the effective interest method. Okay, the journal entry then would be interest expense. This is an adjustment for the accrued interest. discount on bonds payable, and then interest payable, because on December 31st, we're not paying any cash. Okay, so interest expense would be this interest expense, but that's for 6 months. So we want to report only for 3 months. So we divide that by 2. The discount amortization, we divide that by 2. And the interest payable is always $5,000. Or you can also do this payment, divide that by 2. It's the same. Now, if we don't use the reversing entry method, we don't reverse it, but we will pay cash $10,000 on March 31st. Okay, we recognize interest expense just for the January, February, March portion. We cancel the interest payable when we pay it. And we amortize the discount on bonds payable for January, February, and March. Okay, so make sure the left-hand side and the right-hand side are equal. So that's how we prepare the accruing of bonds interest on December 31st that year. At the end of the fiscal period, basically, we can use straight line amortization, we can use effective rate method, we can use without reversing entry, or with the reversing entry. Thank you for watching.